Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my historical challenge using the Tampa Bay Lightning. Alright, so we are not doing very good. For the sake of trying to do better, I've made a few changes prior to this video. As usual, before every video, I always check to see who's on the trading block, and there's absolutely nothing there. So there's no immediate help coming through a trade or anything like that, at least not right now. And we are dead last in the Campbell Conference. Not doing too good over there. So I've tempered with my lines a little bit, and I have also changed my tactics yet again, and hopefully we're going to be able to produce a little bit more W's to our record here. So basically what I did with my lines... So I changed Adam Creighton to a power forward, and I'm going to put him as the second center of the team to not put too much pressure on Bobby Alec. And I've decided to put Rob Zamiener on the first line and move Mikael Anderson on the second line and see if that's going to give us a little bit of a boost here. They are very similar players as far as their role and how good they are at it, so just trying a couple different things here. I'm not changing anything with my defenseman. I do believe that in the last episode when Joe Rickey got hurt again, I said that I was going to put Karpovtsev in, but I had decided to keep Kevin Lowe up instead, so he's the one that's in the lineup instead, so I have a veteran presence there. So that's pretty much what's to report here, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Maybe in the side of good news, we are starting the month of January 1993 against a team that we have done pretty okay against so far this season, so we'll see if that continues here. So we're going to go ahead and advance one day. So yeah, right now I'm kind of looking into maybe picking up somebody on waivers or something, because there's really nothing open on the trade market right now. Alright, so Takeshi Okubo is concerned. We did have pretty much our best month of this season in December. We went 3-9, so at least if there's something good going on, that would be it, I would think. Alright, so Steve Conroy is available, and so is Alan Peterson. Not going to pick those guys up. They are not going to help me. Alright, so we are going to be playing in Edmonton now. So the Oilers right now are 15-23-1. That's good for 10th in our conference. And we are 2-0-1 against Edmonton this season. So let's see if we can beat them again. That would be great to start the month with a W. So we're going to have Wendell Young in net for us, and Bill Ranford is going to be in net for the Oilers. Go Lightning, go! And it's another win against the Oilers. Wow, so, okay. So, looks like that's the team that we like to play. There's sometimes just one team like that in the season that no matter what you do, you always seem to beat. That works in real life too. So anyway, so we were outshot 41-32 in that game. That's the first game of a very long road trip, as I pointed out at the end of the last episode. I think it's like 7 games on the road or something. So Bobby Alec was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Kelly Buchberger was the second star with a goal. And Wendell Young had a pretty strong effort. He made 40 saves and is the third star. So the Oilers scored first, but then Chris Kontos tied the game from Bobby Alec and Tim Berglund, and it was tied at 1 after 1. And then in the second period, we scored the game winner. We just didn't know it would be the game winner then. Mikael Anderson scored his 10th on the power play from Brian Bradley and Danton Cole. It was 2-1. Tampa Bay after 2. There was a fight between Marc Laforge and Mike Hartman in that period, and then at the end, in the middle of the third period, Kelly Buchberger and Bobby Alec got into a fight as well. So a couple fights in here, 2-1 game, pretty tight, but we won, so it looks like we have the Oilers number this season. We're at least doing good against one team. Alright, so excellent passing leads to productive night for Adam Oates with the Bruins. He had 4 assists against the Waiters. No further action needed for Los Angeles. Pavel Bure not suspended in LA. Suspension over for Corey Millen. He is back in the lineup. Phil Housley's assist streak ended at 8 games, was held scoreless against the Devils. Red light stays on for Jaromir Jagr. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against the Rangers. And in that same game, Larry Murphy extended his point streak to 16 games with 2 assists. Valery Kamensky's assist streak ended at 8 games. No point for him against the Red Wings. No further discipline for San Jose's Mike Peluso, so not suspended. Luc Robitaille extends his point streak to 12 games with 2 assists against the Sharks. Suspension over for Ron Sutter in St. Louis, back in the lineup. And those players are doing better at getting acclimated to their new team. Alright, so we are now going to be playing in Vancouver. Alright, strong night for Mark Recchi, who had a hat-trick against the Oilers. And Shane Corson is back from suspension for the Oilers, so he did not play against us either, apparently. Alright, so we are going to be playing in Vancouver. That is actually the first game of the season for us against the Canucks. Canucks are 19-15-3. They are 7th in the Campbell Conference. Let's see what's going on over here. Alright, so they have 1 injury, and it is Adrian Plavsic. He's not going to be playing this game. In net, it's Kirk McLean and Kay Whitmore, so that's okay, I guess. Dave Babich, Yurki Lume, Denham Merzen, Gerald Deduck, Robert Dirk, and Doug Lidster on D. Not too crazy. Couple good players, of course, like Yurki Lume should be pretty decent. Jeff Courtnall, Robert Cron, Sergio Mamesso, Luc Robitaille, Greg Adams. Oh god, it's Tom Fergus, I think his name. Yeah, Tom Fergus. Stéphane Morin, Peter Nedved, Cliff Running, Trevor Linden, Jim Sandleck, Steve Tuttle, Rick Vive, and Gary Volk up front. Alright. Definitely a few pretty good players, and they got Luc Robitaille. Oh, 6-year contract for Lucky Luke there. Alright, let's see if we can beat Vancouver. So we are going to have Wendell Young in net. They are going to have Kirk McLean. Go, Lightning, go. Oh, we lost 43, so close game, but we just couldn't put it together for a victory. Oh, we were outshot pretty bad. So Vancouver outshot us 41-18. Cliff Running was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Kevin Lowe was the second star with 2 assists, and Sergio Mamesso was the third star with an assist. So we opened up the scoring in the first period. It was Chris Contos from Bobby Alec and Kevin Lowe. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1, and we had a Bobby Alec and Trevor Linden fight in the first period. So the talented centers got together. Then Adam Creighton scored in the second period on the power play from Rob Zamuner and Rob Zamayo. And then Rob Zamayo scored on the power play from Kevin Lowe and Roman Amerlik. It was 3-0 Tampa Bay at that point. And then the tides turned. Vancouver scored twice before the end of the second period, and we were still up 3-2 at that point. But we crumbled into the third period. Peter Nedved tied the game almost midway through the third period, and then with 13 seconds left to go in the third period, Vancouver scored and ran away with the win. Oh, Mike Hartman is suspended. He's going to miss 1 game. Okay. Luc Robitaille's point streak ended at 12 games, so we managed to keep him scoreless. And red light stays on for Zdeno Cigar with the New Jersey Devils. He had a hat trick. Alright, so I'm going to need to scratch Mike Hartman. And I guess I'm going to dress Mark Bureau for that one game. Alright, I guess I can keep that here. It's not going to be taking all that long, at least it shouldn't. So first that I usually do is that I look at the new guy getting dressed and see if there's maybe a better type of player that he can be. There's plenty of players that Marc Bureau can be. I'm just going to leave him at an aggressive forechecker. That is fine. I don't think I have Mike Hartman anywhere other than on the fourth line, so that should be good here. Alright, there was no stopping Larry Murphy, who had 3 goals and an assist against the Boston Bruins. Pretty good game, and that was 17 straight games with a point for him. And we are now playing in LA against the Kings. So the Kings have turned things around a little bit. So last time we played them, they had a losing record. Now they are 19, 17, and 3. They are good for 7th in our conference. We are 0-1 against the Kings this season. All right, let's see. So we're going with Wendell Young again. They are going to go with Kelly Rudy. Oh, it's a win for the Lightning, 6-3. That's pretty good. Despite getting outshot 48-28, Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Rob Zamuner was the second star with 3 assists, and Danton Cole was the third star with a goal and an assist. Lots of goals scored in the first period. Started with Bobby Alec from Rob Zamuner and Kevin Lowe, and then Danton Cole from Rob Zamuner and Brian Bradley. It was 2-0 Lightning at that point. Then the Kings scored twice, tied the game at 2. And then Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Brian Bradley. And then Kevin Lowe scored on the power play as well from Sean Chambers and Bobby Alec. It was 4-2 Tampa Bay after 1. There was a fight between Marty McSorley and Adam Creighton in the first. Then in the second period, Brian Bradley scored on the power play from Doug Crossman and Danton Cole, and then Adam Creighton scored on the power play as well from Rob Zamuner. It was 6-2, so we scored a lot of 4 power play goals, so maybe my tactics for the power play are now working. Maybe that's good. And so it was 6-2, then Tony Granato scored in the third. It was 6-3 at that point, but we won. Awesome, 6-3 victory in LA here. And Mike Hartman is back from suspension, and I will put him back in the lineup. So I have you as an agitator, and I think that's what you're gonna remain. Alright, now let's put you back on your line. You don't play much, but you got a few points, don't you? Okay, so a couple days off before we play in Minnesota against the North Stars, so we're gonna go ahead and sim that. Oh, Jan Eriksson, Stu Grimson, Don Biggs, and Craig Billington. I already got Jeff Hackett, and they're probably about just as good. Maybe Hackett, I think Hackett has a little bit more potential, so I'm not gonna pick up Craig Billington. Otherwise, I probably would have. But other than that, there's not really anybody that I should get here. No one could stop Steve Larmer for the Blackhawks. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Oilers. Red light stays on for Craig Simpson. In that same game, he had a hat trick. Larry Murphy extends his point streak to 18 games with a goal against Minnesota. And Joe Rickey is starting to feel a little bit better, so might be back in the lineup here soon. Alright, so another day off. Doug Gilmour is out of the lineup, listed as day-to-day. 5 days out. A bruised heel. And Joe Rickey almost back. Alright, so we are about to play against the Minnesota North Stars. Minnesota is doing pretty good. They are 27-12-2. That's good for third in the conference. We are 0-2 against Minnesota this season. Let's go ahead and see if we can get our first win of the season against them. So Wendell Young is going to be in net for us again. Darcy Wakaluk is going to be in net for the North Stars. We lost again against them, 4-1. We were outshot 32-30. Carl Dykhouse was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Mike Modano was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Gaetan Duchesne was the third star with a goal and an assist. Alright, so nobody scored in the first period. And then in the second period, Minnesota opened up the scoring. And it was 1-0 Minnesota after 2. Then they scored 2 more goals at the start of the third period. It was 3-0 Minnesota at that point, and then Rob DiMaio scored short-handed from Sean Chambers and Kevin Lowe. It was 3-1 at that point, but then Mark Tinordi scored near the end of the game, and 4-1 was the final score. Alright, so we win 1, we lose 1, we win 1, we lose 1. Hey, that's a better pace than we've had since the start of the season, so I'm not complaining. Alright. Red light stays on for Mike Gartner, who had a hat trick against the Flyers. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 13 games with 3 assists against the Flames. Larry Murphy extended his point streak to 19 games with an assist in that same game. And Kevin Stevens, still in that same game, extended his assist streak to 8 games with a goal and 2 assists. Alright, Joe Rickey is probably going to be back, if not for the next game, the one after that. Alright, 1 more day off, and then we're going to be playing in Toronto against the Leafs. Alright, so Doug Evans is suspended in Philadelphia. He's going to miss 4 games. Dynamic passing leads to productive night for Eric Lindros, who had 4 assists against the Oilers. It looks like a lot of people have great games against the Oilers in this video. Oilers must not be doing all too good. Paul McDermott keeps fans on their feet all night for the Flyers as well. 3 goals and an assist in that same game against Edmonton. Red light stays on for Mario Lemieux. He had a hat trick against Winnipeg, and that was 14 straight games with a point. Larry Murphy extended his point streak to 20 games. In that same game, he did get a goal and an assist. And Kevin Stevens' assist streak ended at 8 games. He was held scoreless in that game against the Jets. Alright, so we are about to play in Toronto. That's a team we have been struggling against. We are 0-3 against them this season. Toronto is not even doing all that great. They are 19-21-2. That's good for 9th in the conference. We're just not able to beat them. Alright, so Wendell Young is going to be in net for us. Grant Fuhr is going to be in net for Toronto. And it's a win. We finally beat the Leafs 4-2. Alright, so this month is going not too bad. So it looks like the changes that I have made are, showing some results at least. All right, so a 4-2 victory. And we did outshoot the Leafs 31-27. Rob Di was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Zemlichka was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Chris Kontos was the third star with a goal and an assist as well. Alright, so Chris Kontos scored the first goal of the game from Bobby Elick, and then Ken Hodge scored his 5th from Chris Kontos. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay at that point. Then the Leafs scored before the end of the period, and it was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 1. And we scored again in the second period. It was Adam Creighton scoring his 10th from Mark Bergevin and Rob Di 3-1 Tampa Bay after 2. Then in the third period, the Leafs came to within 1, but by near the end of the game, Sean Chambers scored his first of the season from Rob Di and it was a 4-2 victory. Oh yeah. Alright, so Steve Yzerman is injured, and he is day-to-day for about 8 days, back soreness. And I think that Joricki is ready. He is, so that one's going to take a little bit longer, so I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Alright, and we are back. So, we have 1 day off before we play against a very scary team. Let's just say I'm not expecting too much out of that team. That might not be the right mindset to, go into a game against a really formidable opponent. But dear God, look at that home stretch after that crazy long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think the schedule was made like that because Tampa Bay was, Tampa Bay is really in the Eastern Conference, or, it's really on the eastern side of the U.S., and, they were put in the West, so I think that that's why we have big swings like that to accommodate teams a little bit better with travel and whatnot, but that's crazy. Alright, so that's the last game of our super long road trip. We are in Detroit to play a really, really, really strong Red Wings team that is 37-6-2 so far this season. They are way alone atop the Campbell Conference. We are 0-3 against the Red Wings this season, so I will be happy with just containing them, but hey, you never know. Alright, so we have Wendell Young in net, and they have Tim Cheveldae in net, and we lost 9-3. That was kind of expected. The Red Wings are really good. They outshot us 40-19. Ray Shepherd was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. Zeno Ciccarelli was the second star with 2 goals and an assist, and Keith Primo was the third star with 3 assists. Alright, so in the first period, we alternated goals, actually. So Detroit scored first, and then Chris Kontos scored his 10th from Doug Crossman. Then the Red Wings took the lead again, and then we tied again. Brian Bradley scored from Danton Cole and Rob Zamuner. But then the Red Wings scored again, and it was 3-2 Red Wings after 1. There was a fight between Sean Burr and Mike Hartman, and then between Vladimir Konstantinov and Adam Creighton. And it was 3-2 Detroit there. And then Detroit scored 3 more goals in the second period. It was 6-2. We weren't feeling too good about ourselves at that point. And then in the third period, Rob Ramage scored his first of the season from Danton Cole and Brian Bradley. And then the Wings added 3 more goals because they are just too strong. A bunch of penalties in the third period as well. Nothing to see here, just a good old ass whopping that didn't go in our favor. A night to remember for Ray Shepherd, as we saw. He got 3 goals and 2 assists against us. That's pretty good. Doug Waite is not suspended in New York. And Oilers star wrecks one-of-a-kind car. So Edmonton star Craig McTavish is known for his hard driving play on the ice, but after what happened this week, he should probably drive a little more carefully on the roads. The Star Center was driving late at night on a winding road and smashed right into a highway barrier. He escaped with only scrapes, bruises, and a moderate case of whiplash, and is listed as day-to-day. The bigger injuries are to his wallet and his pride. The car, which was completely totaled, was a customized luxury Porsche valued at $500,000. He angrily declined to take questions as he limped out of an Edmonton area hospital last night, but his publicist released the following statement: Craig is happy to be home with his family and knows how lucky he is to have escaped nearly unhurt. He will be more careful in the future, and he knows that cars, unlike people, can always be replaced. Maybe so, but if he wants to be able to replace this one, he may need to drive a hard bargain when he next comes to the negotiating table. That's right. Alright, so Craig McTavish here, being a little careless with his luxury car, got into an accident. Alright, so we have a couple days off here before we play against the Blues. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 15 games. He had a goal and an assist against Boston. Larry Murphy's point streak ended at 20 games. In that same game against the Bruins, he was held scoreless. Red light stays on for Stéphane Richer with the Devils. He had a hat-trick against the Kings. Suspension over for Gerard Scaldi, back in the lineup with the Devils. And then good night for Owen Nolan, who had 3 goals and an assist against the Montreal Canadiens. Always happy to see somebody do well against the Habs. Alright, so one more day off here before we play the Blues. Right, Brian Glynn is suspended with the Whalers. He's going to miss 4 games. Alright, so the Blues are in town. Blues are playing 500 hockey. They are 21-21-3. We are 0-2-1 against St. Louis this season, so we have not been able to beat them. The Blues are 7th in the conference, so let's see if we can beat them. We got our first win of the season against Toronto not too long ago, so let's see if we can beat the Blues. So Curtis Joseph is going to be in net for the Blues. Wendell Young is going to be in net for us. Back home for a while now. Oh, we lost in overtime 5-4. Alright, that's a heartbreaker. So we outshot St. Louis 31-28 in that one. Brettel was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Brian Bradley was the second star with a goal and an assist as well. And Brendan Shanahan was the third star with a goal and an assist as well. We had 9,118 people in attendance for this game. Alright, so Rob Zamuner was the first one to score in the first period from Brian Bradley and Sean Chambers. Then St. Louis tied the game, and then Doug Crossman scored on the power play from Joe Rickey and Mikael Anderson. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, St. Louis tied the game, and then Danton Cole gave us the lead back from Rob Ramage and Rob Zamuner. And then Brian Bradley scored his 10th from Sean Chambers and Adam Creighton. It was 4-2 Tampa Bay after 2. And in the third period, St. Louis tied the game. It was tied at 4 going into overtime, and then Jeff Brown played the hero in overtime with the game winner, and we get no points. It was a 5-4 defeat. Right, Cam Neely has a strong game. He had 3 goals and an assist against Philadelphia. Then good game for Adam Oates. He had a goal and 4 assists in that same game against the Flyers. Strong night for Wayne Gretzky. 3 goals and an assist against the Jets. Oh, Jaromir Jagr is hurt. He's going to miss 3 weeks here with fractured ribs. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 16 games. He had 2 goals and 2 assists against the Sens in that same game. Memorable night for Larry Murphy, still in that same game against Ottawa with 4 assists. And Joe Sakic extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Sharks. Alright, so we are going to play Washington. I am going to put Jeff Hackett in net. There you go, buddy. Alright, so Washington is also not doing all too good. 14-25-6, and we are 0-1 against the Caps. We lost 3-2 the first game of the season against them. Alright, so they are going to send Don Beaupre in net. We are going to go with Jeff Hackett. And it's a 2-2 tie. We'll take it. We continue to put points on the board and look a little bit better with every passing month or so. So we'll take it. Oh, we outshot Washington 39-28. So we looked pretty good on that aspect of the game for sure. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Peter Bundra was the second star with a goal. And Mikael Anderson was the third star with a goal and an assist. 9,249 people in attendance for this game. So Mikael Anderson scored first in the first period. That was a power play goal from Brian Bradley and Sean Chambers. And then Washington tied the game after that. It was tied at 1 after 1. Nobody scored in the second, and then in the third period, Washington took the lead, but with a minute and 27 seconds left to go in the third, Danton Cole scored his 10th on the power play from Mikael Anderson and Brian Bradley. It was tied at 2. We went in overtime, but nobody could score, and that was it. Tie 2-2. Oh, Brent Gretzky is hurt. Okay, he's day to day. I'm gonna need to fix that. Let's wait until it's time to actually play, just in case. Doug Gilmour has achieved 500 assists in his career. He had a goal and an assist against Chicago. 29 years old, Doug Gilmour, 5-star player, of course. Doug Gilmour was a pretty good player. Alright, one more day off, and then we'll reevaluate what we do here with Brent Gretzky. Pat Verbeek has reached 300 goals in his career. He got a goal and an assist against Winnipeg. Pat Verbeek is 28 years old, 3.5-star player. Alright, yeah, he's probably still not able to play. Yep, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that, and as usual, I will be right back. And we are back, and we have now Jason Lafreniere that's going to be playing on that fourth line instead of Brent Gretzky. Alright, so we are about to host the Minnesota North Stars. They are still doing pretty good. They are 30-13-2. That's good for third in the conference, and we are 0-3 against the North Stars. We already lost once against them this month, and look at that, we're playing them twice more before the end of the month, including the last game of the month, which is going to be the 2D gameplay. Alright, so let's go ahead and see here. Darcy Wakaluk is going to be in net for the North Stars. We are going to Wendell Young. Aha, we managed to beat the North Stars. We won 4-3. That's our 10th win of the season. So we are doing a little bit better this month. We were outshot to 37-23. Mikael Anderson was the first star. Looks like the demotion to the second line did him good. Anderson with 2 goals, he's the first star. Carl Dykhouse was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Bobby Alec scored both our other 2 goals, and he's the third star with 2 goals. 8,487 people in attendance for the game. So Mikael Anderson scored first in the first period. That was a power play goal from Brian Bradley. And then Bobby Alec from Mark Bergevin and Chris Contos. It was 2-0 at that point, but the North Stars scored before the end of the period, and it was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then we doubled our lead in the second period with Mikael Anderson scoring from Rob DiMaio and Adam Creighton. It was 3-1 after 2. Then in the third period, the North Stars gave us fits. They tied the game with 40 seconds left to go in the third period, but then Bobby scored with 11 seconds left to go in the third period from Chris Contos and Mark Bergevin, and it was a 4-3 win, so we did run away with that one. Memorable game for Ted Donato of the Bruins. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Islanders. Cam Neely lights the lamp with 4 goals and an assist in that same game. Big game for Brettel. He had 4 assists against the Leafs. There was no stopping Craig Janney in that same game. He had 3 goals and an assist. And Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 17 games against the Canucks. He had a goal and 2 assists. Alright, now we have a couple days off here before we play against the Leafs again. Oh, we have 1 day off. Sorry. So just 1 day off here before we play Toronto. Alright, no news in the world of hockey right now, and Toronto's in town again. They are now 22-23-2. They are 8 in the conference, and we are 1-3 against them. We just beat them in Toronto not too long ago. So let's see if we can beat them again, back on home ice. Grand Fiore in net for the Leafs. We are going with Wendell Young. And it's another win, 2-1. Wow, the Lightning's doing pretty good. So I don't know if it's the changes that I've made or if we're just having a little bit of a easier schedule or what. But we're getting more W's this month than we have any other month. So Toronto outshot us 34-22. Adam Creighton was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Yannick Perrault was the second star with an assist. And Mikael Anderson was the third star with an assist as well. 8,546 people in attendance for this game. Doug Crossman opened up the scoring in the first. That was a power play goal from Mikael Anderson and Danton Cole. 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Adam Creighton scored from Rob Zmayo, 2-0 at that point. And in the third period, Toronto finally scored, cut the lead in half, but it was too little too late. They didn't score another goal, so 2-1 was the final score. Alright, pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, so Craig Janney extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal against the Red Wings. Ray Shepherd extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal and an assist in that same game. Marty McSorty is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Oh, Mike Modano is hurt with the North Stars for 3 weeks. Severe cut to the ear against Ottawa. So Mike Modano is out for 3 weeks. No one could stop Cam Neely. 3 goals and an assist against the Flyers. Cam Neely extends his goal streak to 5 games with that hat trick. Doug Evans back from suspension in Philadelphia. And finally, Brent Gretzky might be back soon-ish. Alright, so we have 1 day off before we play against the Sharks. Alright, Joe Mullen got 900 points in his career with an assist against Edmonton. Joe Mullen is 35 and he is a 3-star player. Mario Lemieux extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals in that same game. And that was 18 straight games with a point. And Brian Bellows extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals and an assist against New Jersey. Alright, so San Jose is in town. San Jose is... Oh, we have passed San Jose in the standings. Look at us. So we are better than San Jose. Look at that. So they are 11-34-3. Which is good for dead last in the Campbell Conference. I can say that because that's the first time that it's not us. So that's fun. We are 0-1-1 against San Jose, including that 0-0 tie during 2D play. That was very, very fun. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Sharks. We are playing at home. They are going with Arthur Irbe. We are going to go with Wendell Young. and we lost 3-0. So the Sharks are now back to being better than us. It was fun while it lasted. Alright, so we did outshoot the Sharks 39-27, so Artsu Serbe is definitely the first star, 39 saves, the W, the shutout. Sandy Lynch is the second star with a goal and an assist, and Pat Falloon is the third star with also a goal and an assist. Alright, so not a lot to report. We didn't score. All the scoring happened in the third period. It was a tie game all the way there, so... Alright, that sucks, but what can we do? Mario Lemieux extends his goal streak to 6 games. He got a goal against the Flames. So that's 19 straight games with a point for him. Suspension over for Brian Glynn with the Whalers, back in the lineup. Vladimir Konstantinov is injured in Detroit. 7 months. Season over for Konstantinov. Broken bone in the elbow. Alright. Rich Sutter is suspended again in the Blues. He's gonna miss 8 games. And the red light stays on for Teemu Selanne, who had a hat-trick against Edmonton. Another player with a good game against the Oilers. Alright, so we are about to play Minnesota yet again. I'm going to put Jeff Hackett in net for that one. Alright, so as we know now, the North Stars are going to be without Mike Modano. He's hurt, so that kind of helps us here for those 2 games that we have left against them this month. Minnesota is still 32-14-2, so it's not like it's going to be a walk in the park or anything like that. They are still third in the conference, and we finally won a game against them, so maybe we can do it again. Alright, so the North Stars are going to go with John Casey. We are going to go with Jeff Hackett. And we won 4-1, another win against the North Stars, so we're starting to play better against them. We also outshot them 34-33. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Jeff Hackett was the second star with 32 saves, and Doug Crossman was the third star with an assist. 8,369 people in attendance for this game. Brian Bradley scored the first goal of the game from Joe Rickey and Danton Cole, and then Brian Bradley again on the power play from Mikael Anderson, and then Tim Berglund from Mike Hartman and Doug Crossman. It was 3-0 at that point. The North Stars did score a goal 18 seconds later, and it was 3-1 Tampa Bay after 1. And then nobody scored in the second period. And then we added one more goal 22 seconds into the third period. Rob Di scored his 10th on the power play from Adam Creighton and Roman Amerlik. And it was a 4-1 game at that point. And that's how the game ended, with a nice little victory for Tampa Bay. Rob Ramage is hurt. Alright, we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. Oh, he's going to be hurt for a while. Okay. Injury to sideline Lightning, defenseman Rob Ramage. Okay, there's a mistake here that's still not corrected. I would need to... I think I did give them that one. Could be... Okay. 7 months. He has a ruptured disc. Alright, so Rob Ramage is out for 7 months. Season over for Rob Ramage. Oh, that sucks for him. That was his 1000th game in his career, too. Wow, what a way to celebrate. So, didn't get a point, got hurt. Yeah, probably near the end of the game, 18:05. He did play 18:05 in that game. Alright, so 1000 games for Rob Ramage. He is 34. He is a 2-star player, and he is out for the season. Alright, so I'm going to need to take care of that. That's going to take a second here. Well, yeah, that's going to take a second, so I'll be right back again. And we are back. Alright, I recalled Karpovtsev, but it's Kevin Lowe that I dressed. I think he's going to fit pretty good on that third pair as a defensive defenseman, and he's going to be playing on my penalty kill as well, so I think that it makes sense for me to have him replace Rob Ramage. So, oh, there's one thing I also wanted to do that I forgot to do before I resumed the video. Alright, so Kevin Lowe is going to be filling in as the assistant captain for Rob Ramage since he's hurt for the rest of the season. Alright, so we have a couple days off here before we host the St. Louis Blues. Alright, so Brent Gretzky, of course, now he is okay. That shouldn't take very long, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Jason Lafreniere back to being scratched. Brent Gretzky comes back in the lineup. Now we're going to go here, we're going to go here. And that's pretty much it. Now we just have to put him... he's pretty much just playing there. Alright, so we are going to continue simming here. There was no stopping Sean Burr, who had a hat-trick against the Flames, 3 goals. A night to remember for Dino Ciccarelli in that same game. He had a hat-trick as well. Memorable game for Steve Yzerman, who in that same game had 6 assists. Mario Lemieux extends his goal streak to 7 games with a goal and an assist against the Capitals. And that was 20 straight games with a point for him. And Ray Bourque played in his 1000th game in his career, and he celebrated with 3 assists against the Quebec Nordiques. Ray Bourque, 32 years old, and of course a 5-star player. Steve Yzerman has a memorable game. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Oilers. Alright, so 2 games left here in January. First one is going to be at home here against the Blues, whom we have not been able to beat so far this season. And then we are going to go on the road and play against the Minnesota North Stars to finish the month. So the Blues are now 25, 22, and 3, so they've won a little bit more since last time we played them. They are now 5th in the conference. We are 0-2, and it says 2, but it's not 2 ties. We lost for sure in overtime earlier against them, so it's still not showing right here, the season record. That still not has been fixed by out of the park development. There are no overtime losses. Overtime losses should be logged as a regular loss and not as a tie for the record there. Alright, so let's go ahead and play the Blues. Maybe we're going to be able to beat them for the first time. It's going to be tough though, because they're going to have Cujo in net, and we are going to go with Wendell Young. And we won 4-1. Wow, we had actually a pretty good month. I want to say we're playing for 500 or something. We outshot the Blues 32-28. Marc Bergevin was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Kevin Lowe was the second star with an assist, and Brian Bradley was the third star with a goal and an assist. 9,013 people in attendance for this game. Brian Bradley scored first in the first period from Danton Cole and Rob Zamuner, and then Marc Bergevin from Brent Gretzky and Kevin Lowe. It was 2-0 Lightning after 1. Then in the second period, Chris Conto scored from Doug Crossman and Brian Bradley, and then Rob DiMaio from Mikael Anderson. 4-0 Tampa Bay after 2. We felt pretty good about ourselves. Then there was a fight between Mike Hartman and Brendan Shanahan in the second period. Then in the third period, Dave Laurie ensured that Wendell Young wouldn't get a shutout, and it was a 4-1 game at the end of the day. Kevin Lowe improves at right defense. Thank you for accepting to be versatile at your age, Kevin. I appreciate it. Alright, and now we have a couple days before we play the Minnesota North Stars for the fourth and last time this month. I guess I shouldn't be getting too tired of seeing the same team all the time, because in real life, hockey's going to resume on January 13th, and my Sens are going to be playing in the Canadian division, which means that we're going to play each team 9 or 10 times, so I am so going to be overplaying the stupid Habs so many times. All right, memorable night for Sergei Makarov, who had a hat trick against the Kings. Suspension over for Marty McSorley. He's back in the lineup. Mark Rickey extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Quebec Nordiques. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 21 games with an assist against the Islanders. Right, and Dmitry Ristich extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Nordiques. And in that same game, Mikhail Pivanka extended his assist streak to 8 with 2 assists. Alright, we are about to play against the Minnesota North Stars. We're starting to know them pretty good. Minnesota now is 32-17-2. That's good for third in the conference. We are 2-3 against Minnesota. We won the last 2 games against them. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat them. And it's going to be the 2D game, because that's the last game of the month. Alright, so Wendell Young is going to be in net for us. Darcy Wakaluk in net for the North Stars. Let's play the game. Alright, again, I'm going to check my options. They are still saved. So, well, let's go. I think we're going to be in white. I think I figured out that the color of the box here is the color that your little squares have. All right, let's go. All right, well, Joe Rickey took a penalty already, so that's not nice. All right, so we're getting a penalty already. All right, Wendell Young stopped the puck. Oh, what is that? Ah! You guys need to clear. Hey, if he's not going for you, just stay there and waste some time. Neil Broden tripping. There you go. Alright, so... Oh, they had only 9 seconds left of power play, so we are going to have some power play time here. Yes! Power play goal for Brian Bradley. Alright, unassisted, though. That's okay. Alright, so Brian Bradley with the goal, and we are up 1-0. 16:28 to go in the first period. Oh, they scored. Dan Quinn from Neil Broughton and Trent Klatt. Alright, so tied at 1 here in the first with 15:12 to go. Looks like it might be a high-scoring affair. Alright. Just threw it to center. Alright. Oh, Wendell Young went. He looked like he wasn't too sure if he should go for it. Went and froze the puck. Alright, come on, guys. What was that? Okay. Alright, Jim Johnson took a penalty for the North Star. I was wondering why he was just leaving the puck there. That was weird still, but... Alright. Oh, it it was behind the net or something. Ulf Dallin took a penalty as well. We have 40 seconds left on the first penalty, so we are going to be 5-on-3 here for 40 seconds. Come on, guys. Make it count. Alright, 5-on-4. Yes! Brian Bradley from Mike Hartman and Tim Berglund. Alright. So 2-1 here in the first period. 7:44 left to go. Alright. Oh. Come on, little square. Give it your all, man. Oh, we got a shot out of this. Ooh. Uh-oh. Bad change. Oh my god, how many shots did he get? That was like 3 or 4 shots in a row. And we made a bad change. Oh, we shot wide, I think. Alright, 1:35 to go. We're still up 2-1. Alright, so first period is over, so they got 10 shots, we got 12, so pretty even in that regard. Of course, we are up 2-1, that's what matters. So let's go ahead and play the second period here. We didn't take too many penalties, so let's hope we can keep it that way. We're only up 1 goal, so we can't afford to be taking a bunch of penalties. Alright, Wendell Young with the play there. Threw it in the corner. That's usually a smart play. Come on, buddy. God, if you would have turned on the jets, you had an opening, I think. All right, 16 minutes left to go in the second here. Still up 2-1 for the Lightning. Oh, that was a good save. Puck is out of play. 15:09, 2-1. The score. Hey, it's a stop there. Oh. Come on, buddy. Go for it. Oh. Yeah, it was 1-on-4. It would have been nice, but yeah. Oh, good save. Come on, guys. Alright, Minnesota tied it. Kip Miller from Trent Klatt and Craig Ludwig. Alright, game is tied at 2 with 8:49 left to go in the second period here. Alright, Wendell Young held on to the puck. Puck is out of play. 6:25 so left to go in the second period. Tied at 2. All right, so we're having a game here. Oh, 3-2 for Minnesota. Ross Courtnall just scored unassisted. All right, so we're down 3-2. We still have not won a game in 2D play. We have 2 ties and a loss so far. Come on, buddy. Looked like an easy save, a shot from a distance there. Oh, offside. 3:08 left to go in the second period. Still down a goal. Oh. Alright, second period's almost over. Alright, it is over now. Yeah, they took over the second period. They now have 21 shots and we have 16. So we're going to need to open up the machine here in the third period. Alright, come on, guys. That's Amerlik. No. Come on, buddy. Ah, he managed to get a shot. Even though he was tightly checked. Uh-oh. Okay. Got it. We had 5 guys on one guy. Usually you don't want to do that when you're playing. Look at that. When you play defense. Maybe it's because of the tactics that I have. Yeah, typically you don't want to have all of your guys on the same guy because then other players on the other team are going to be open for a pass and then you have nobody left to defend. So that's usually not good. Alright, 13:34 left to go in the third. 3-2 Minnesota still. Oh, now it's 4-2. Brian Propp from Kip Miller and Michel Mongeau. Alright, it's going to get tough here with 13 minutes left to go. It's going to get tough to tie the game. Oh, yeah. Danton Cole from Brian Bradley and Mikael Anderson. Alright, we're definitely going to go and take it 4-3 here with 11:34, so there's still time to tie the game. Alright, Wendell Young. Doesn't look like he's very good at handling the puck. How did I do that? I don't know, but it's in. Brian Bradley from Rob Zamuner and Sean Chambers, and that's a hat trick for Brian Bradley. All right, tied at 4 with 9:50 to go. All odds. Oh, we took a penalty, Rob Zamuner. If it was, how are we on the power play if we took the penalty? There's a bug with the penalties that are being called. You cannot trust what it says there, and I forgot about that. 5-minute major fighting for not Rob Zamuner, for Joe Ricky. Alright, so we got into a fight. So Joe Ricky and Rick Berry, I guess, got into a fight. Alright, still tied at 4-7. Okay, who really took the penalty? Zamuner did. Alright, now that I checked, and it's him for real this time. Alright, so 7:33 left to go, tied at 4 in the third period against Minnesota. Alright. Alright, save and sent in a corner. Alright, oh, I thought he was going on a breakaway, kind of like that. Alright. Uh-oh. Alright, Wendell Young with the stop. Covers the puck. 3:59 to go, tied at 4. Come on, little square. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, that was a save. I actually got a shot out of that. Alright. 2:31 left to go. Uh-oh. Oh! There was a good chance here. The game's almost over. Alright, so this is going to overtime. So Minnesota got 28 shots on goal. We got 24, so pretty close. We weren't completely outclassed or anything like that. And it's tied at 4. And now we're going in overtime. So again, this is 1992, so overtime is 5-on-5. We have a 2-minute minor penalty to Jim Johnson for unsportsmanlike, not Rob Zamuner. So we are going on the power play here in overtime. And it's a save. That should have been offside, but okay. I'm not going to tell if you don't tell. Alright, 19 seconds left of power play here. Okay. Oh, Zamuner actually took the slashing penalty for real. Okay, so... Alright, 4-on-4 for 12 seconds, and then they're going to be on the power play to basically finish off the overtime here. Puck is out of play. 29 seconds left to go in overtime. Oh. Alright, and the game is over. Alright, so another tie. So we are 0-1-3 so far with the 2D play. Lots of ties. Alright, so it was a 4-4 tie against the Minnesota North Stars. I'm going to take it. That's another point in the bank. Alright, so we're gonna just check back real quick. So Minnesota outshot us 32-25. Trent Klatt was the first star with 2 assists. Brian Bradley was the second star with 3 goals and an assist, and Kip Miller was the third star, with a goal and an assist. So Brian Bradley opened up the scoring in the first on the power play. It was unassisted, and then he scored his 15th on the power play as well from Mike Hartman and Tim Berglund. 2-1, Tampa Bay after 1. Then Minnesota took a 3-2 lead, and then even a 4-2 lead, but then Danton Cole scored from Brian Bradley and Mikael Anderson, and then Brian Bradley from Rob Zamuner and Sean Chambers. And it was a 4-4 tie. Bradbury and Joe Rickey did fight in the third period. I think I said it was Rick Berry, that's Bradbury. Got that one wrong. Alright, and Rob Zamuner is hurt. Is it Rob Zamuner or Mikael Anderson? I think that the 2D play when there's an injury gets all messed up with injuries and whatnot, so I'm going to go ahead and figure... No, they both are day-to-day. Oh, great. Alright. I'm going to figure that out here in a second. So let's see what we have here. Good night for Brian Bradley. As we know, we got 3 goals and an assist out of him. Suspension for Chicago's Brian Marchment. He's going to miss 2 games. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 22 games with 2 goals and 3 assists against Philadelphia. Red light stays on for Joe Mullen. He had a hat-trick against the Flyers. In that same game, Mark Recchi extended his point streak to 13 games with a goal. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Steve Yzerman, who had 4 assists against the Canucks. And this is our scouting update for January. We're going to sim one more day. Oh, alright. Alright, so Montreal Canadiens, Paul DiPietro is suspended. He's going to miss 5 games. No one could stop Mark Recchi with the Flyers. He had a hat-trick against Montreal in that same game. That was 14 straight games with a point for him. Terry Murray looks to save his job in Washington. So Washington is 16-28-8. So they are looking to make a change there, maybe. Dmitry Ristich extends his goal streak to 6 games. He had a goal against Pittsburgh. Memorable game for Mario Lemieux. In that same game, he had 2 goals and 4 assists. And that was 23 straight games with a point for Mario Lemieux. And Larry Murphy in that same game still had 5 assists, which is pretty good. And still in that same game, Mikhail Pivanka's assist streak ended at 8 games, so it was held pointless against Pittsburgh. And still in that same crazy game, Kevin Stevens had a great game. He had a hat-trick. And the players of the month are Tim Chevalier and Mario Lemieux. Alright, so Mikael Anderson is out and he's not going to be able to play. Rob Zamuner can play, so I'm going to fix all of that after we look at stats and whatnot. So if we look at the standings, we are still a little bit better than the Sharks, although the Sharks do have a game in on. We are 11th out of 12 in the conference. Of course, we are not going to be going to the playoffs unless we start playing a lot better. And we're going to look at our stats. I think it's going to look a tiny smidge better. Oh yeah, look at Brian Bradley now. He has 39 points in 45 games. You know what? That's not too bad, considering. I'll take it. Danton Cole, 30 points in 53. Mikael Anderson, 29 in 53. And then it just goes down from there. Nothing too crazy to look at there. And then finally, in the entire league, Mario Lemieux, Cam Neely, and Teemu Selanne all have 49 goals. So I think it's safe to say they're all going to hit the 50 mark. Mario Lemieux is also the best passer with 70 assists, so he's the best player at 119 points. Gretzky has 94. Of course, we don't have anybody in there. Not even close. Alright, so that's it for January. If you followed my Franchise Hockey Manager 6 series. You know that in February is when I look at contracts that expire to see who I am keeping on the team. When you start like that, with the expansion team, I think I only have one player that needs to be re-signed or let go, so it's not going to be that interesting for this year, but starting next year, I should have some decisions to make and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and stop here for today. I'm going to go ahead and save the game. And as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.